Can you maybe paint an example of, let's say there's your favorite music artist dropping videos or your favorite vlogger? How does a fan engage with them today? And then how would they engage with them now in the world of video NFTs?
Love that question. So today, right, if you're a supporter or a fan and you want to connect with a video creator, the first thing you would do is you would, watch their content or, observe it. And then after that, if you want to get closer, you could go to YouTube and then go to their contact and email them. You could leave a comment. You could go to their Instagram, maybe find them there, leave a DM. Pretty much, you're not going to get any return on maybe any of these. Maybe a YouTube comment, maybe an Instagram comment. They might like it or
Yeah.
respond, but you're not actually going to get that access to that
I tell
creator.
everybody I tell everybody to hit me up on Twitter, like normally, but you're right. I mean, I how many people that are listening to this engaging in conversations with me on a week to week basis is much lower than, the people consuming content via YouTube or like Apple or Spotify.
Exactly. And so, yeah, today it's like they would go to your Twitter, try to connect with you there. But the difference is in the future, if you could collect someone's NFT, tell them why you collected it, right? Tell them, get to know more about you. It's like you're going to be way more aware and attentive to that potential supporter than if they hadn't collected. So I think collecting gives you an access path and a stake in that creator's future that you can say like I actually want this person to succeed, that just like a basic DM won't necessarily do. And over time, the it's just increasing in speed. It's like world peace through world trade is going to be the fastest way to world peace. Like if people are not trading, if we're just having conversations and there's no exchange of skills or there's no exchange of value in any way, like it's not going to really work for too long with you and that person, because there's life is not forever. People have to come into this life, trade away, and they pass. Right? So it's like I think the the idea of trading leading to world peace. I go into this person's home and I might leave, a glass of wine. They come into my home, they leave a glass of wine. That type of idea, like, although that might just be considered karma or just good faith trading, regardless, I think putting that type of energy into the world is going to lead you to just a better relationship with your audience, a better
Yeah.
ability to grow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a interesting take there, trading leading to peace, right? But I do think one thing trading does as well is it turns the consuming of content into a more active and engaged like activity. Often I find that we're all scrolling, watching videos, liking tweets, liking Instagram posts. But then when you add this collection element to it, it's I don't know, it's a more active statement saying like, I really like this and I like what you're putting out into the world, and like I want to be a little bit of a part of it and attach my name to it. I think like I'd much rather be a collector than just a follower.
You just unleashed something in my mind with that one that like I had never like realized was a huge hurdle for all of Web3. So like the idea is that like you said like active statement, and it's just like an active state. If you're in an active state of using these social networks, that's going to lead to this podcast. If you're in a uh, passive state of using a social network, you would never lead to this podcast. And so I think the most important thing is that collecting is literally the beginning of an active state of using any social network. So people are actually going to have to start thinking about why they're spending their time here, what they're doing. And I think they're going to start to realize they've wasted a lot of time in the past. And now, if they can use social networks actively and then go touch grass, they would probably prefer to do that than to use social networks passively and like never touch grass, because it's like you never know what you're going to miss if you're using it passively. It's like if you're using it
Yeah.
actively, you're coming in for a focus, you're collecting that NFT, you're listening to that Twitter Spaces, you're DMing that creator right at the spaces, and then you're out. And it's like, that is an active way of living. That is living in motion. And that is potentially the biggest hurdle for all of Web3 to get over. Switching people over from active state, it's actually not going to happen. Like, you're not going to have, like, human nature is not just going to turn people who wanted to passively scroll. Like, you know, what might happen though is that you'll have people who share more. Like, I think sharing will increase. Like, retweeting and sharing might increase. Maybe active tweet creation may not be you know, maybe the 1% of tweeters is not going to go to 10%, but you'll get like 3% more people retweeting and sharing and supporting a creator's success. And that could honestly make all the difference. Like, 2 more people sharing your IG story, 2 more people retweeting your thing because they know this is going to put food on the table for you. Honestly, it's like, that is going to make the world a little bit better. And like, that's the most I really think we can push this decade. And then I think after this decade, I think it's unlimited.
Yeah. I think for sure our generation is definitely people who are thinking about like just conscious consumption, I'd say, all around. I mean, and everyone's going to have different pockets that they're probably pretty conscious about, whether it's like veganism or it's what you do on social media, right? There's spectrums to everything, but it's interesting to think about how the collection, putting your name on it, it becomes part of your digital profile, and it makes your digital identity a little bit more vibrant.
You're listening to the Unstoppable Podcast, the go-to place for everyone to learn about the latest innovations in Web3, NFTs, and the decentralized web. Welcome to the metaverse.